Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to the first impressions of the Heinkel 100. And I have to say, I really like this plane. I have to get it out of my system right now. I think this is the very first battle that I played, and it is a German Tier 2 fighter plane with a battle rating of 1.7. And tech tree wise, it stands between the MC202 and the Focke-Wulf 190A1. It is equipped with 3 machine guns with 500 rounds each. And you can see it's rather common here, the Heinkel 100 D1. My first impressions are that the plane is really powerful. It has a decent climb rate, especially for its battle rating, and especially for its battle rating, it has an amazing speed. The problem is it has somewhat a German flight characteristic in this respect, as the instructor interferes a little bit, especially in relatively high speed maneuvers or dives. About the machine guns, a lot of people think that machine guns overall are bad. I have to say I kind of disagree. However, there are 3 exceptions. First of all, the Russians with their incredible rate of fire, the British one, which have a little bit of bug problems, so to speak, especially with the tracers. The problem itself is not fully gone. And also, we then have the German machine guns, the light ones, and I think, in my opinion, they are rather effective. Now, because this was the first plane, the first flyout of this plane rather, it is completely stock. No upgrade, nothing whatsoever. I have not looked into the statistics or any gameplay of this plane so far. I just took it out for a spin. And indeed, this battle was really nice. It's not really, a 20 kill game or something like this, but it is a first impressions. And you will see why I kind of like this plane, especially its stock performance is kind of surprising. I see a lot of pea shooters down there, so I descend and try my luck. And you can see going over 550. Yeah, my aim was a little bit off here. I actually made a mistake. I played a bomber, I think the Hamptons before that, where I changed the gun conversions down to 300, so my aim was a little bit off, and I get a pilot snipe on this B-26A. Kind of an unfair fight, I know, a little bit seal clubbing every day keeps the bias away, something like that. Never mind, I never said that. And there you can see how relatively heavy this plane is. Yes, it's stock, but still, other planes behave better when stock in terms of maneuverability. But the speed is great. Especially, I think, overall, the flight or the speed in a straight flight is rather high. And I try to keep my energy up here. Tactic wise, it's a little bit of overkill. This P-26 is never really a danger for me, but whatever. And I get a few hits in this guy again. Yeah, this Heinkel 112B, well, was not so lucky. Another strafe and another pilot snipe. That's kind of the experience with machine guns in particular, especially when you look at the pea shooters. If I remember correctly, they have an open cockpit, so the pilot is completely exposed, especially when he turns up and you shoot him from above. He just exposes his pilot, so it's no real wonder. And when you think about that this pilot might be new to War Thunder, there is no crew skill involved for the majority of players, so you feel the result. And I think at a higher battle rating the plane would struggle. I think overall the raw capabilities are not quite up to the MC202 in terms of maneuverability and speed, but it is not far off, if I remember correctly. And there we can see this Hurricane Mark IV ate a lot of shots. I'm above half my ammunition, so to say. About a quarter down, so to speak, or 3/4 down to the last quarter. Yeah, me and my English. And again, the convergence. If I would have put it at 500 meters convergence, I would have hit him. But again, I put it at 300. It's not the worst decision with those machine guns to get relatively close. However, you have you have to get used to it, and I was not used to it. I wait until my ally breaks off. Then I try to spray him again. A lot of hits, but the stock belts are not the best. And there you can see the turn radius is really big for Battle Rating 1.7. The next thing is that it seems like the engine is, at least when being stuck, overheating a lot. Now the AAA has locked in, and yeah. The next battle that I played was very fight intense, and I got damaged a lot. Whenever I got hit, immediately my engine had a leak. And I also lost water, where the water leak seems to be in the wings, in the middle of the wings. I'm not sure if this is a bug or it activated like the fuel loss animation. However, it just didn't look properly modeled, so to speak. But it could be I had no real insight into the inner guts of this plane, so to say. So it might just be that the cooling is somewhere in the wings, although it's kind of unusual, I guess. And there you can see that the oil is the problem. I think I didn't play around with mech here. On the other hand, it's relatively easy to come by. But again, there seems to be kind of an internal timer for when you get really problems, even when using 100% throttle, not even whipping. And you can see I'm going hot again, and I have to cut the throttle to cool down the oil again. But it responds relatively fast. However, if you then have to engage somebody and you need the full engine power, it might get you into trouble sooner than later. And you can see, for a stock plane, 500 kilometers, over 500 kilometers without web in level flight at low altitude, that's rather impressive, at least in my opinion. So maybe this might be kind of a plane that certain people might get into higher tiers to see if they can challenge higher tier planes, maybe. Certainly, I never had the feeling to be kind of suffering from a lack of speed or something like this. And it seems like this is a very good boom and zoom fighter. But again, the armament, despite thinking that the German machine guns are relatively good at their caliber range, so to speak, I think this plane, when having like a single 20 millimeter, like the Heinkel 112A0, would be a great boom and zoomer. However, we have 3 machine guns, and so we have to deal with it. But again, 500 rounds per machine gun is kind of the usual setup for German machine guns. Some of them have maybe 1,000 on the Focke-Wulfs, if I remember correctly, but that's something different. And so I'm repaired and rearmed and refueled, and off we go. Now this is recorded the day of the patch release, relatively late on. I really was fed up with tanks after like a brutal brutal hardcore grind session of several hours. I gave you a video on the heavy tank number 6, and I really like this tank. It feels so much better, so spot on. It actually works like I always wanted the Tiger to work. One-shotting your enemies, very reliable, and just being a bit more responsive. Yes, I'm talking here about arcade, but the same goes for realistic. It doesn't seem to suffer from the drawback with the smoke launchers, which is so hyper annoying, in my opinion, when you play the regular German Tiger, the H1 that is. Because the Tiger E doesn't suffer from this problem, but has to pay for it with a 0.3 higher battle rating. So just to make this once more clear again. And then you see the Hampton and look at the chat. This Hampton asked if he can have some ground units, and I just was like, yeah, sure. And I said that I will shoot him down afterwards, and he said, oh thanks, and he actually disables his gunners. And I think this was the last part that I thought would be worth showing. And I actually have a question for you. Is this rigged gameplay? Is this, violating the terms of end user license agreement? The EULA, kind of? Because I allow him to actually bomb targets. I mean, as long as he then, so to speak, holds still, I don't mind. Yes, this is nearly reserve plane gameplay, and I understand the struggle of the Hampton to get something in, especially since the new bomb bay door handling, which is actually an improvement in this respect, but the thing with the loss of the bomb aiming reticle, so to speak, or bomb circle in air RB, I don't know. But despite this guy actually made some really nice bomb drops. And if I'm not mistaken, he actually warned us that he has a 2-second delay on his bombs. So really nice gentleman play by this guy. And he's a PS4 player, so all those PS4 player haters, are you as honorable as this guy? Just saying. And now he says, okay, I'm done, come kill me. And that actually is how you should play your bombers. He was never able to win the match, but he wanted to get some experience out of it. He would have lost against the entire German team anyway, but he decided to come out and to have a go and not hide at his airfield to, unnecessarily drag out the match. And that is kind of what the community, you and me alike, have to kind of organize ourselves in. There are several ways how you can deal with this endgame scenarios. Either you see a really chance to get back into the game, to decide it like my 5 versus 1 win with the single bomb on the airfield that I featured in the BF 109 E7, or you go back to the airfield rearm, repair, and then bail out, or you just go out and try your luck. But hiding in the airfield or running away is something really anticlimactic, something that everybody hates. And I think this guy here, I'm sorry about the name, Limaifa 13, actually showed in a very good manner how you can end the game with some honor. So let's have a quick look at the post-battle results, and we can see 3 kills, 1 assist, 36,000 silver lions, and 3,500 research points for the modifications, and some more for the plane research. So practically that's it for me today. That's the first impression on the Heinkel 100. I really like it, a really nice addition to the game. Um, and yeah, I can't wait to upgrade this fully and to maybe drag it out into some higher tier gameplay. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about this plan. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other in the skies of War Thunder.